From LALATE News headquarters in Santa Monica, this is the Midday Report on LALATE.
It's a midday here on LALATE at noontime as we go over that fourth stimulus check update of 2021. In this recording, we'll go over that monthly stimulus check and why the Democrats are likely to give you more months of checks. Then we cut to the recon. A done deal, signed, sealed. $3.5 trillion of checks will be walking into your hand in the fourth stimulus recon, but we'll go over those checks and why application-based checks will be killing it for the Purple Hawks. Then in a world exclusive, which you're only going to hear on LALATE at noontime, we'll be going over that MSC. As the number one guy in DC is flexing his muscles to ensure you get monthly stimulus checks. It's world exclusive details you're only going to hear on this channel. We go over that as well. And then we cut to the big money that is available that viewers are getting. You're going to meet one viewer who started the week at 0, went to 80,000, then turned around and got his family another $100,000. All this deliciousness, all this big money, all these details, and all these world exclusives starting right now at noontime. Hey, good noontime, everybody. I hope you have a beautiful day on this beautiful midday. So much exciting details about that fourth stimulus check. We'll be going over the monthly stimulus check and why the Democrats are likely to give you more months of checks. Then we cut to the recon. Done deal, signed, sealed. Direct from Santa Monica at noontime, live on air, I'll be going over why Ron Klain, the chief of staff of Joe Biden, in a breaking news reports details exactly what I say, that the recon's a done deal. $3.5 trillion of checks will be walking into your hand. I'll go over what application-based stimulus means and why this is deliciousness. Then we cut to the MSC, the monthly stimulus check. And the number one guy in D.C. wants you as the Purple Hawks to have his back because he's ready to give you these monthly fourth stimulus checks in the fourth stimulus package. I have all this incredible details walking into a big noontime, and it's starting right here, and this is LA. America's only 24-hour day, 7 days a week. Financial news channel in America. Live in the morning, taped in the afternoons. Coming up next is Afternoons LA. This video will automatically take you there at 1 o'clock. Then the next Afternoons LA at 3, and then Evenings LA at 5. If you just found this channel, let me tell you what you're going to get in this video, because there's a lot. We're going to go over that monthly stimulus check in the fourth stimulus package. A world exclusive you're only hearing at this channel as the number one legislator speaks to this channel about that monthly stimulus check in the fourth stimulus package. We'll be going over the other items of fourth stimulus, which are application-based, and we'll be learning about the big sums of money you can get today. Tens of thousands of dollars from third stimulus, as one viewer went from 0 to 80,000 for himself and then turned around and got another $100,000 from his family. So subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record for a reason. There's no channel like this on the map. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video, 2,000-3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Calcino VIP. Meantime, if you've not signed up for those alerts, they're totally free. It's in the description of this video. You'll get an alert when a new video goes live. It's at news.lalate.com. It's in the description of this video. Put your name and email address in, totally free, and then you'll get the confirmation email, and you'll start getting alerts like a video like this one as well. Let's get to those monthly stimulus checks. House versus Senate, Senate versus House. Who wants to give you what, and how do they differ? Let's go over the two different proposals. Actually, several different proposals. Warren, Wyden, and Sanders calling for a monthly stimulus check but don't say the amount or the number of months. We have AOC and Omar calling for $2,000 a month but not saying how many months. House Ways and Means calling for fourth stimulus monthly but not saying how many months or what amount. But then the one that has captivated a country from Santa Monica to across the land has been that House bill, pandemic plus 1 year, $1,000 a month after the first month of $2,000. That would result in $13,000. Vote House or Senate, House or Senate. Tell me where you're tuning in from and how the weather is where you are this beautiful noontime live from Santa Monica. Who gets this fourth stimulus check? Democrats represent you do. Single individual, $75,000 less. Democrats represent you get a fourth stimulus check. Married couple, $150,000 less. Democrats represent you get a fourth stimulus check. Double it. Family of four. Democrats represent you get a forced stimulus check, quadruple it. And if you're on benefits, SSI, SSDI, Social Security Railroad benefits, Democrats represent you get a forced stimulus check as well. The forced stimulus check is not income. It's not taxable. It'll be the same amount for adult dependents and everyone else. And the forced stimulus check is not a waivable check. So if you're at the beach again today and a check comes up waving at you, it's the German check. It's not the U.S. check. And if the check kisses you on two cheeks, it's the Italian check. But first, coming up in the final 15 minutes of this video, stay to the very end, a world exclusive you're only here on this channel, nowhere else. As the #1 legislator on the #1 committee that go in over your recon bill, says he's going to give you a monthly fourth stimulus check and needs your support. Purple Power, this is your thing. Stay to the final 15 minutes. The world exclusive details you're only here on this channel. It's coming up in the final 15 minutes of this video. But first, let's get a pen and paper ready because we talk cold turkey here, and the truth of the matter situation is very clear. There is no forced stimulus check landing in your hand today. Nothing landing in your hand this week. In fact, you need money, and you need money now. So what's available? Third stimulus, a fortune of it. You may have thought a third stimulus is just a $1,400 stimulus check, but there's a lot of other money in there. And we're going to start with our inspiration story. His name is Johnny. 2 weeks ago, Johnny was one of 3 viewers on this channel who started this week at $0. By Wednesday, Johnny and 2 other viewers had gotten from this channel $40,000 from third stimulus. But Johnny didn't stop on that Wednesday. He kept on pushing. With 3 items, he pushed for more. And by Sunday, he got 7 items. This is 2 Sundays ago. His grand total, $80,000. Last week, a week later, 5 days later, he turned around and he got his family members in less than 5 days an additional $100,000 from third stimulus. Let's go over incredible stories, starting with Johnny 2 weeks ago. Started the week at $0 and ended the week at $80,000 with 7 items. What are the $80,000 7 items? They are $12,000 for SNAP, $10,000 for EIDL, $2,000 for taxes, $21,000 for housing, then another $25,000 for housing, $9,000 for utilities, and then $50 a month for telephone and internet. Grand total $80,000. That was Johnny 2 Sundays, 2 weekends ago. Then last week, Johnny reached out to his family members and said, you know what? I just got $80,000 from this channel. They said, what? From third stimulus. They said third stimulus is just a $1,400 stimulus check. He said, no, there's other money in there besides that stimulus check. They had never heard of that. They said, I thought you just sort of wait for things to land in your hand. No, you got to pick up the phone and call. There's other money in the third stimulus besides the $1,400 stimulus check. They didn't believe him at first. Let's go over what Johnny gives in that update about how he initially told them to get the money last week. Just like you've been reporting, I've been talking to you about you to my friends and family, LA. As of today, I've helped 5 friends save their homes and put food on their table. And 3 family members thought I was full of it. They thought he didn't know what he's talking about. They had never heard of picking up the phone and getting money on the third stimulus until he said, pick up the phone and get this money. Pick up the phone and get this money. Until they did it, and then they got it. Snap, because it's a snap, as he said. Oh my God. 2 family members got $41,500, and the other family member got $57,600. That's $100,000 in less than 5 days. This has been awesome to see people stop stressing. Your channel has helped others and myself tremendously. You're such a godsend. Purple Power, Purple Hawk. That can be you as well. Let's go over the money right now. Get a pen and paper ready. We get some money for rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, and homeowners utilities for you to start. I'm going to show you different items. Get that pen and paper ready. If I go too fast, you can always replay this video. There's a toggle button on the video to push it back to replay a section. Let's first turn to that rent. The rent money is enormous. Viewers from this channel from third stimulus in the last few days have gotten far in excess of $20,000. Let's look at the numbers. Wow. $27,000 all the way to $20,000. Look how many people. Purple Hawks killing it. Johnny got $9,000 for utilities. So why is Johnny's number on the high end? Because the more people become subscribers, the more people become members, the more they watch the videos, the more sophisticated, skilled, and used to doing this they become. And now they're getting bigger numbers than ever before. Let's turn to SNAP, money for food. You're going to meet someone in a second who got $19,000 for this. Numbers are going bigger. And there are the 3 people who got 3 items. Nancy getting rent, utilities, and food, $32,000. Nisia, $23,000 at 3 items. Mark has actually 2 updates for us. I'm going to show you Mark's second update later this week. But Mark's first update, I'm going to go over you right now. Mark had gotten 2 items at $32,000, rent and utilities, but for 5 days on camera, I said to Mark, go get Snap. 4 wonderful stories come from Mark in update number 1. First, Mark got Snap in less than 5 days, just like Johnny's family member got that Snap in less than 5 days. Number 2, Mark saw people like Johnny getting 7 items, so Mark is not stopping at 3 items, he's getting more. Number 4, Mark told other people about this channel, and now they're getting massive sums of money in a very short period of time. Mark told his neighbor and friend, and that viewer went from 0 to $21,000 of rent in less than 5 days. Last week, same thing happened with Shanann. She's a Purple Hawk of 2 months. She told her friend about this channel, and that friend went from 0 to $21,000 of rent, utilities, food in less than 5 days. Just like Johnny, who told his family members about this channel, and they got $100,000 in less than 5 days. And finally, Mark got that Snap. Mark got that Snap. And how much Snap do you think Mark got? Mark got $19,000 of Snap, bringing Mark's grand total on this channel to $50,500, because guess what? The sky is the limit on this channel. And that's not as high as we can go, because after Mark got $50,500, let me introduce you to Lorraine, who got $105,000, because this is what we do. This is LALATE. I know it's a lot for just a single video. You're coming and wondering, where's that 4th stimulus check? Then I'm showing you a world exclusive coming up in the final 15 minutes about that 4th stimulus check. Then I'm telling you about other checks in the 4th stimulus package. Then you're meeting people that are making $100,000 on the 3rd stimulus. It's a lot of information. I got it, but this is what we've been doing since day 1. I launched this channel because people had applied for that EIDL loan and grant in April of last year, and their applications were stalled up. One after another, I got them approved. I got viewers $25 million of EIDL loans in April of last year, saving their business, their employees' homes, and their own homes. 3 days later, the new application was going live for a new program no one had ever heard of it. It went live in only a few states. It was the PUA on April 28th. People didn't understand it. It was a confusing application in April of last year. So I went through the application, got people approved, viewers like $15,000 for Eileen Bellicamp out of Florida. But then involved 2020, December. It was the holidays. No money, no second stimulus. It was delayed. So I stepped forward and got viewers $250,000 for rent, like Tyrone and his family 4 out of Boston. $16,000 for rent. But now we're doing it again. So get that pen and paper ready. I'm going to get you some money for rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, homeowners utilities, and more. It's all available today. You can get it today. You can get it this week. It's 3rd stimulus, and it's deliciousness. Here are some introductory comments first. I'm going to show you 6 places to reach out to. So if one says no, reach out to the next. They have different eligibility, and they have different pots of money. So if one says no, don't worry, reach out to the next. Number 2, listen to the keywords I say in this video. It helps get people approved. And number 3, every state has the same amount of money given to them from the federal government. All right, you ready? Here are the 6 places you're going to reach out to. Your city hall, your city house authority. That's 2. Your county hall, your county house authority. That's 4. And your state hall and your state house authority. That's 6. And the keywords you're going to say are rent assistance because of COVID, mortgage or utility assistance because of COVID. You can do this. Pick up the phone, just like Johnny told his family members. Why do I have to pick up the phone? Pick up the phone. Now they got $100,000. They are happy they picked up the phone. You do the same right as well. And congratulations to everyone who got this money. If you got this money as well, post in the live chat. Rent or utilities. Tim and Linda got this money as well. The next pot of the money is the money for SNAP, money for food. You get this from Department of Agriculture, it pays for food. And yes, Lynn Glenn got it for herself, her son, and her mom, Gail, got it as well. But Mark got $19,000 before. It's now worth $25,000. What happened? Department of Agriculture 2 weeks ago made the announcement live on this channel. They made the announcement that everyone's benefits are going up an average of 25% lifetime automatically starting in October nationwide. Yes. So Mark's benefits will be worth no more $19,000, upwards of $25,000. If you got this money for SNAP, post in the live chat right now. The next part of the money is the money coming back from your state due to overpayment of computer error of unemployment benefits. One viewer got $3,000, another viewer got $5,000. Check out to your state for that money. And the last one is the refund check coming back from IRS for that 2020 taxes you paid unemployment benefits. That 2020 tax return, you pay taxes on the unemployment benefits for it. That unemployment benefits tax return money is coming back to you each week. Different checks each week coming back, but the average check is about $1,200 to $2,000. Cod got it, Margaret got it, Tim got it. More about that in a second. But here's first a personal message from me to you. I launched this channel to help people, to help get people money. This money that's available for you. And if you're on the live chat, post your success story for rent, utilities that you gotten, because when you do, you help other people. The spirit of this channel is helping other people. And when you post your success stories, people realize, I just gotta pick up the phone. They don't realize the obviousness, the simpleness of picking up the phone and saying, I want this money. It's your money. Pick up the phone. They realize there's a lot more money than they initially thought. There's a lot of money involved here. Pick up the phone and call. And then you'll realize, wait a second, don't stop at one item. Get as many items as you can. Johnny getting 7. That should be your inspiration. So pick up the phone. Get this money today. It's your money. It's there for you. And let's cut back to those unemployment benefits. Direct deposit, otherwise in the mail. Can you track it? Yeah, go to iris.gov. Do a transcript search. 70% of the time it will work. It'll reveal the refund check you're getting, the tax return you filed, and then 70% of the time it will reveal stuff you wish you'd never seen, like Mitch McConnell's dance routine when he appeared on Star Search. Yeah, I just wish I had not seen that. Can we top that? Yes. As we go into the second part of your fourth stimulus check update of 2021, starting right now, deal done, signed, sealed. Who said that last weekend? Well, I said it. And who else said it? Ron Klain, the #1 guy in the Biden administration, his chief of staff, appeared on broadcast media and said, hey, you know, the recon framework, which is his version of saying recon procedural, passed. We've done that. So what's the question here? And there you go. There's a recon. It's done. It's $3.5 trillion. It's all checks for the American people. This is the largest recon we've ever seen in the history of this channel. It's all checks for the American people, unlike the previous recons, which were really small and mostly for corporations. This is incredible, great news. I'll have more about this recon in the third part of this video. But how do we get to this wonderful spot? By taking roads and bridges out of the recon and putting it into something called the bipartisan, making the recon passable. A conservative publication confirms my reporting that move was the critical ingredient. It says, the conservative publication, that the higher the price tag was on the recon before, the harder was to pass. There you go. But by allowing the Democrats to take out some of the spending from the recon, the roads and bridges, put it in the bipartisan, the overall price tag of the recon got smaller. In other words, the bipartisan deal made the recon passable. It's important to understand how Democrats legislate with Democrats. The recon is all Democrats with Democrats. There's no Republican vote needed for this recon. The way Democrats legislate with Democrats is the following. They meet face-to-face, go to lunch, go to their office, have a cup of coffee, and say, what do you think about this idea? Let's talk about it. Then eventually, they come to a verbal agreement. That verbal agreement is basically the end then. When they verbally agreed, they're done. Then next step is they write it up. They write up what they verbally agreed to, and then they call a vote on what they verbally agreed to. This is why in the month of June and July, this channel was delivering breaking news that the recon procedure was agreed upon and done deal, because they had already confirmed they had verbally made the agreement. They had met, agreed to do a $3.5 trillion, and that it was going to be done. So that by the time it was written, by the time the vote was called, it was just ceremonial. That will be the same thing for recon substantive. So recon substantive, guess what they were doing all last weekend, all last week, was meeting and going over the provisions of that recon substantive to get to a verbal agreement. Ron Klain, Ron Wyden, Bernie Sanders, and Chuck Schumer all confirm their work on this all last week. So it's important to understand that if someone says something like, I'm waiting to see the bill, I'm waiting to see the vote, no. This is decided way in advance of that. It's decided when they're having the meetings right now. How do we get to this wonderful spot? We got to this wonderful spot by getting a very large recon procedural price tag. And that's what Ilhan Omar and Representative Richie Torres, both Democrats, both progressive, had wanted. A larger recon, that goes as big and bold as we want it, they said. Then once everyone had agreed upon the recon, the president said, protect my recon, because everything in there is checks for the American people. Progressive checks, which is the president's priorities, says Brian Schatz and Jalapal in a statement at that time. So what's the difference between a recon procedural and a recon substantive? What's the difference between a recon and a bipartisan? Let's go over all the details of them starting right now. Recon is your money. Bipartisan is not your money. So recon refers to reconciliation. It also stands for the reconciliation budget bill or the Democratic spending plan or the progressive social reform plan. Price tag $3.5 trillion, all your money, all checks for the American people. Bipartisan, not your money. Also called infrastructure, also called roads and bridges. Price tag $1.5 trillion. Well, the tow truck has passed over the finish line. Yes, the tow truck passed over the finish line 2 weeks ago. That's the recon procedural. Now time to do the tow hitch. Recon substantive. What's the difference between the two? In the next graphic, watch the keyword committees. Recon procedural decides $3.5 trillion recon, yeah, and then the money's split among committees, $10 here, $20 there, yes. That's done. Next graphic, also the words committees. I'm going to be going over this in the final 15 minutes of this video, so pay attention to that word committees. Recon substance says, how do the committees spend the money? Now the committees are given $10, how does it spend the money? And that is where we are right now, going over these meetings face to face. How do you want to spend the money in the committees? These are the oral agreements going through right now. How did we get to this wonderful spot? From Jalapal, who recently wrote Schumer a letter saying Chuck called the vote on that recon. That letter was signed by 12 House Democrats, part of 100 plus House Democrats who said they want to give you a monthly forced stimulus recon. Now, it's important to understand that it's very, very hard to find a Democrat who has not said they want to give you a stimulus check. Virtually every Democrat has said they want to give you a stimulus check, and they virtually all have said they want to make it monthly. The people who want you to think that no one's talking about a stimulus check are the Republicans, the conservative media, and the conservative analysts. They want you to say that no one's talking about a stimulus check. Well, you're not talking about a stimulus check, but all the Democrats are talking about the stimulus check. You just saw over 100 Democrats in a letter to the president saying they want a monthly forced stimulus check. Let's go over everyone else among the Democrats who want you to have a forced stimulus check. And you're going to be left seeing that there's almost no one left out that hasn't asked for a stimulus check. We have the senators, the top players like Warren, Wyden, and Sanders calling for a monthly stimulus check. We have AOC and Omar and countless other House members calling for a monthly stimulus check. We have the people who write the recon, the House Ways and Means calling for a forced stimulus check. And we have the House bill, which is signed by hundreds of Democrats calling for a forced stimulus check. How do we get to this wonderful spot? We also got to this wonderful spot by taking out something called the global minimum corporate tax rate. It's a thing at this point of the broadcast that I usually gleam over. Well, Ron Klain, the chief of staff to the president, spoke about over the weekend. He said, we're not raising the national debt to pay for the recon. We're raising taxes on corporations. 55 of them that paid zero taxes last year made billions of dollars in revenue and are not paying any taxes. That's how we're paying for the forced stimulus recon. Can we top that? Yes. As we go into the final 15 minutes of this video, so much deliciousness. World exclusives. The world exclusive from the #1 guy in DC who wants to give you a monthly stimulus check. We'll go over the provisions, what you need to do, and why you're part of history once again in the making. We'll be going over the other items in the recon, the application base, why this is incredible great news for you. We'll be going over fifth stimulus as well. But first, if you haven't gotten one sum of money from this channel in the past, do it today. City Hall, City House Authority. County Hall, County House Authority. State Hall, State House Authority. Rent assistance because of COVID, utility, mortgage assistance because of COVID. If you ever picked up the phone and called to report a water leak or a gas main leak or a telephone outage, you can pick up the same phone call the same phone number and say, utility assistance because of COVID. You can do that. I want you to do that because when forced stimulus becomes law, you're going to be picking up the phone and getting these sums of money. If you've developed the skill and done that skill once now, you're going to be ready to rock and roll. Then if you can't get the other sums of money under third stimulus that are available right now, like mortgage assistance, don't worry, reach out to the volunteers. Where are they? They're in the description of this video. Go down the description, you'll find them. And that's the community page, news.lalate.com. Here's a little bit about the community page. I'll be back with you in 60 seconds with the world exclusives in this final 15 at noon time. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.lalate.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on Mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And and then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now at noontime, live from Santa Monica. Hope you're having a beautiful day across the board. So much breaking news and world exclusives coming up in the second half of this video. We'll be cutting over to the world exclusive as the #1 guy in DC wants to give you a monthly stimulus check. That is the deliciousness, and the man is ready to rock and roll. Then we'll be cutting to fifth stimulus, which raise your benefits up if you're on SSI and SSDI, and we'll be going over more about that big money that's available for you right now under third stimulus. Unemployment benefits not getting extended. Eviction moratorium ended on a federal level, so this is real money that you get right now from third stimulus. I have all that deliciousness and more, and it starts right now on noontime. So subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. I want you part of this family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video, 3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Casino VIP. The link's under the video and at the top of the chat. Meantime, if you haven't signed up for those LA alerts, please do so. And later in this video, we'll be checking back in. I forgot earlier today. Totally forgot to check back in on what's happening with Calendar Khalid, Calendar God, Freedom Frida, and the Wens. And we'll have more about those details and more. Let's cut to the deliciousness of fifth stimulus. Fifth stimulus is the raising up of your benefits if we're on SSI and SSDI. We cover fifth stimulus because it's the SSI reform that's at issue. We're not covering fifth stimulus for a check. We're covering it for the SSI reform. And this starts in September, hopefully getting to a vote by November. Step one is they want to raise your benefits up a lifetime. Then they want to remove the asset cap and apply an inflationary benchmark, remove the income cap, and remove the marriage penalty. Let's go over all the incredible details starting right now. How does this work? Step one is they want to raise your benefits up a lifetime. This is you. If you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, Railroad benefits, Veterans benefits, SSA. Step two is they want to apply a new benchmark. The new benchmark is inflation. Inflation's going up. And it's going up so much that in Brazil, they're worried about 5% now. The European Community's central bank, the EU central bank, is having a meeting this week about potential tapering. And the Federal Reserve here was talking about tapering last week. So let's look at 5% as potential rate spike for inflation in December, potentially. Let's use that as part of our analysis. First, they'll raise your benefits up lifetime. Then they'll apply a new benchmark. If it's 5%, your benefits will go up another 5%, not just next year, but lifetime. Because once your benefits go up, they never go down. They're going to move the asset cap dating back to a 1980s law that says you can't have more than $3,000 on hand. Now you'll be able to have some muddled. Did you call this muddled? No, this is not muddled. It's not KC Royal either, Canute. You'll be able to have some blue in your hand and also some stimulus checks. They're going to move the income cap dating back to the 1960s law that says you can't work and stay on benefits. And finally, the marriage penalty is going to go away. And love is going to win, and you'll be able to marry your longtime love interest like Rob and Sandy and no longer fear loss of benefits. Meantime, will there be a fifth stimulus check? Yes, the House Ways and Means represent there will be next year. Finally, if you're on the live chat and you've not become a Purple Hawk, what are you doing? The link is under the video. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Casino VIPs are delivered daily from me to you. A breakdown of all the big money that's available under first, second, and third stimulus, and everything that's proposed under fourth and fifth stimulus. When third stimulus was passed in January of this year, people just looked at it as a stimulus check. Third stimulus check. Okay, got it. Now let's look to the next stimulus check, fourth stimulus check. That was sort of Johnny's family members. I got the third, I'm ready for the fourth. Johnny said, no. There's other money available for you on the third stimulus. Well, what? What kind? A couple $100? No, I got $80,000. Purple Hawks and Purple Powers are getting $10, $20, $30, $40, $80, $90, $100,000 routinely from this channel from third stimulus. This week, last week, the week before, because this is real money that's available for you. The eviction moratorium not being extended on a federal level. Unemployment benefits on the federal and state level not being extended. A lot of other things, benefits not being extended. So this is real money. And this money is available for you right now. Why would you not get it? Consider becoming a Purple Hawk so you get delivered to you a daily breakdown of all that big money. Written by me and delivered to you via the YouTube community page and the LA Alert page as well. And with that, we go into the final 15 minutes of this video, starting right now with the world exclusive deal done, signed, sealed. $3.5 trillion of checks are coming to you and the American people under the fourth stimulus recon. The fourth stimulus recon is a done deal, number one. It'll have $3.5 trillion price tag, and it'll be all checks for the American people. The thing that is left is the terms and conditions of that recon. Now, the recon, before we get to the checks that would come from the IRS, multiple stimulus checks, before we get to those in a second, let's go over the bread and butter of the recon, which are application-based checks. Application-based means you pick up the phone and ask for the money, just like you've been doing under third stimulus, just like you've been doing with this channel since first stimulus. Application-based means you pick up the phone and call, because guess what? Let's go back to that original graphic, which I showed you from recon procedure and recon substantive. Committees. Remember that word? Committees. How the committees spend the money. Because guess what? The money that's in this recon, IRS doesn't know how to pay you on. It doesn't know how to pay you about internet, telephone, vision, hearing, or anything like that, medical. They don't know anything about that for you. So there's no way for IRS to pay that money for you. It's in the committees. You pick up the phone, you ask for the money. Let me show you what's at issue with an example of what's proposed as some of the checks that are in that recon. Checks for free school meals for all, checks. Tax break checks, checks for cheaper prescription medication, checks for farming, checks for elections, checks for free internet, checks for seniors, and checks for workers like independent contractors, checks for seniors like lowering eligibility age, checks for dental, checks for vision, checks for hearing care. So IRS doesn't know about your hearing, your dental, your vision, your internet, your farming, doesn't know anything about those things. So there's no way for IRS to send you a check for that. That's why it's in the committees. And this is why you're going to do so well as a Purple Hawk under fourth stimulus, because you've got this. You've done this on the third stimulus. Johnny picked up the phone and called 7 different places to get $80,000. 7 places for a third stimulus package that's super, super small and mostly for corporations. 7 items. Same thing under fourth stimulus, just it's a bigger stimulus package, and it's all for Americans, not for corporations. You're going to pick up the phone, and there are going to be lots of different checks of all different magnitudes that you're going to kill and rock on and get under this fourth stimulus package. All wonderful checks. I'm going to show you how to get each and every single one of them. You're going to do incredible well under fourth stimulus. Imagine if you got $30,000 under third stimulus, how well you're going to do under fourth stimulus. And there you go. Now let's cut to the monthly stimulus checks, the MSC. Over the last few weeks, I've been showing you all the Democrats who want you to have a monthly stimulus check. But as one guy on a set with a set of beautiful orchids behind him, I'm one guy against the broadcast news channels that own 700 local affiliates in 25 cities across the country. And guess what? If the major channel out of New York or Los Angeles runs a story, says, I didn't ask anyone whether there's a stimulus check, so I guess it doesn't exist. They send that feed out to all the local stations. And then you hear, well, maybe there's no fourth stimulus check. They have not been reporting. In fact, there's not any level reporting. Let's go over what's happening here right now. Several weeks ago, I told viewers of this channel to pick up the phone and call and speak to your elected officials and push to have them put a stimulus check in there like they're representing they would. And WR, one of the viewers of this channel, picked up the phone and called Senator Chris Coons, Democrat, Delaware, Joe Biden's oldest confidant. And WR spoke to Chris Coons' staffer. Said, are you doing a monthly stimulus check? Of course he is. Senator Chris Coons is proposing a fourth stimulus check in the fourth stimulus recon. Well, there you go. That's how you do it. You go to the source, the legislators, and ask them, are you doing a stimulus check monthly? Answer yes. Broadcast media never made the phone call. They never cared to make the phone call. And so their breadth of coverage has been no reporting. Inaccurate and uninformed and simply incorrect. But let's cut to the last 14 days. The bill we're talking about here, the recon, the full name is the Fourth Stimulus Reconciliation Budget Bill. What committee in the Senate oversees this? The Budget Committee. Yeah, the Budget Committee does the budget bill. And who is head of the Budget Committee? The Budget Chairman. Oh, okay, yeah, the Budget Chairman is head of the Budget Committee that does the budget bill. I got it. This is pretty easy. And what's his name? Bernie Budget Sanders. Oh, yeah. So Bernie Budget Sanders and Budget Chairman of the Budget Committee that does the budget bill. I got this. It's pretty easy. So what did Bernie Sanders say 2 weeks ago? He said, contact me to talk about the budget. Yeah, that's pretty obvious. So do the broadcast channels pick up the phone and call him? Of course not. They didn't pick up the phone at all or ever ask him what he's doing. They didn't ask him. No reporting there at all. Did this channel pick up the phone and have some call? Yes. What happened? A week, not this last weekend, but the weekend before that, Bernie Sanders said to press on the record that prior budget chairmen sort of did their things within D.C., but as the current budget chairman, I like to get out amongst the people and hear what they have to say. I said to viewers on air at the time, translation, that means he wants to hear from you. He wants to hear from you what to do with the budget bill. I said to pick up the phone, call Bernie Sanders at that time. This was 2 weeks ago. Not a lot of viewers did. Len Glenn called his Senate office in D.C., and Brother Joshua, a longtime viewer, volunteer from 2020, picked up the phone and called Bernie Sanders' congressional office in D.C., professional, respectful, and kind, and asked, is Senator Bernie Sanders doing a monthly stimulus check? Of course he is, the staffer said, Brother Joshua. World exclusive right there. World exclusive. It took all of 10 seconds to pick up the phone and call and ask, is the number one guy on the number one committee and the chairman of the committee on the bill that we're talking about on this channel doing a monthly stimulus check? Of course he is. Of course he's proposing one. It was so obvious, but yet no broadcast channel cares to do it. So please do yourself a favor. Turn off the broadcast news channels. Don't watch them. Stop using search engines. Stop using it. And stop using other YouTube channels that never care to do any level of reporting. This is world exclusive details going on right now. Brother Joshua continued the conversation and said, okay, let's talk about the monthly stimulus check. Has Senator Bernie Sanders come up with some ideas of what he wants to do? Yes, let me go over them with you. And here they are. Monthly stimulus check? Yes, great news. Amount? $1,000 to $1,400 a month. Yes, great news. And then a duration? Yeah, we got it. 3 to 6 months. Oh, awesome, great news. Any catch? There is one catch. Senator Bernie Sanders says he needs your support, Purple Power, to get behind him because he wants to make sure he has support of American people before he proposes this. Well, we got this one. This one's easy. In 2020, Purple Power was always the reverse, where we said, which legislator has our back? No one has our back. We keep on proposing things, and they're not having our back. Now, Bernie Sanders has the proposal. He wants your back. We got this. Pick up the phone and call up his Senate office and be respectful, kind, and polite, and say, I want that monthly stimulus check. Thank you for everything you're doing, and please get it done. And call up Senator Warren and Senator Sanders and Senator Wyden and Senator Coons and say, yes, I thank you for your support. I thank you for what you're doing. We need a monthly stimulus check in there. Please do it. Purple Power was launched by me in last year because at the time I was wearing purple shirts outside and people were referring to me as Mr. Purple. But I said at the time when we we're doing EIDL loans, you can get this approved yourself. You got the Purple Power. I said, push, you got the Purple Power, you can do it yourself. But when Second Stimulus, the HEROES Act, was not getting approved, I said, we got to push, we got to change history. So that became the start of Purple Power Push, where we use social economic activism on this channel to push and get money that's ours into the books. And we changed history many, many times. But the most and the largest event of history we changed was the Second Stimulus check, which came from this channel. The continuing resolution bill is a bill that had to be done. It's a budget bill, and there's no place that belongs in there for stimulus. And that's why I said, I don't care, put a stimulus check in there. In fall of 2020, I came up with the idea to put a stimulus check in the continuing resolution, which was never done before and would never probably ever be done again. People thought I was wacko. Stimulus check doesn't belong in a continuing budget bill. It's a budget bill. They don't put stimulus checks in there. And that's what they said. We said, I don't care, put it in there. Initially, they came back and said, yeah, we'll give you some unemployment stimulus. We said, no, we're asking for stimulus checks. And we pushed again, and we got it in there. We made history. Now it's your opportunity to make history again, because the guy who wants to give you a stimulus check wants your back, so you do it. You can do this. Let's go over the calculations. House bill, $1,000 a month over 12 months. After the first month is $2,000, calculates to $13,000, but it takes a whole year to get it. On the high end, Bernie's numbers are 6 months, $1,400, that's about $9,000. 6 months to get $9,000 versus 12 months to get $13,000. And an additional half a year to get extra $4,000. Yeah, push Purple Power, get behind Bernie Sanders. Let's finally check back in on those cast of characters, because I forgot to do that earlier today. If you're gone over the weekend, let's reintroduce them. Oh, here she is. That's Calendar Colleen. You've seen her in the comments. All she says, it's September. It's September. Do they know it's September? Doesn't really contribute much to the Purple Power community because she keeps on repeating the obvious. We know what month it is, calendar, but she keeps on repeating, it's September. Do they know that? And then there's this guy, Calendar Cod. He does the reverse. He says, whatever happened July, whatever happened to August. They care about July. Do they care about August? We're currently in September, so we all know what month it is. And no reason to remind us about June and July. We're in August. Then we cut to this one. Her name is Freedom Freedom. She's freedom of speech freedom. She thinks there's freedom to say fake facts, faux facts, as often as you wish. And one of her favorite fake facts is Nancy gave herself a raise. These congressional leaders gave themselves a raise. No, they didn't. They gave their staffers a raise. Tell whoever you got that fake fact from, put down the cash in the hand and start looking up the real facts. And then we met my favorite characters. They are Wendy and Will Wen. They're from Wensville, Missouri. And guess what they love to say? When. When doesn't really help anyone in an equation, because if you keep on asking when, you're not doing anything. There's big money available for you right now in the third stimulus. And my question is, when are you going to pick up the phone and get that big money? So do it right now and get the big sums of money, like Johnny's family members who went from zero to 100,000 in less than 5 days. Mark's neighbor who went from 0 to 21,000 in less than 5 days. Chanan's friend who went from 0 to 21,000 in less than 5 days. And Johnny who went from 0 to 80,000 in less than 5 days. When? Do it today. Pick up the phone and get that big money. And subscribe. 400,000 subscribers on YouTube record. I want you part of this family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video, 3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. Coming up next is Afternoons LALATE at 1 o'clock. Stay on this video, it'll automatically take you there. It's starting at 1 o'clock. Then at 3 o'clock is the next Afternoons LALATE, then Overnight's Crypto, and then Evenings LALATE at 5. And thank you for joining me on our